All right, the news continues with another story that is all new at 11. We want our food delivered fast, and a WUSA 9 investigation reveals the impact a new trend in delivery is having on our safety.
Yeah, so across D.C., some moped delivery drivers are breaking laws and ignoring rules, and some neighbors fear it's just a matter of time before someone is seriously injured. Here's our chief investigative reporter, Eric Flack, with some stunning video that could inspire change on our streets.
Is he going to swerve? Is he going to stop? You don't know where they're going.
Lisa Abel was walking in her Mount Vernon neighborhood last month when she nearly got a delivery she wasn't expecting.
I thought he was going to hit me because he was coming right at me.
She says a moped food delivery driver was zipping down this narrow stretch of sidewalk and nearly hit her. It wasn't the first time. So you're walking across the street, you have the light.
Yes.
Moped delivery driver runs the light and almost hits you?
Yes.
So twice?
Yes.
What's going on in this city?
I see them drive crazy all the time.
So did we. A moped delivery driver riding the wrong way on 14th Street in Northwest, cutting across heavy oncoming traffic. A moped delivery driver along P Street in Northwest takes his ride from the sidewalk to the street and hits the gas, headed in the wrong direction. We watched as this moped delivery driver in DuPont Circle cuts in between traffic, then blows through a red light, later making an illegal turn while simultaneously running a second red light, breaking traffic laws 5 times in a 30-second span. Standing outside of the Central American Resource Center in Columbia Heights, we spoke with this moped delivery driver on the condition we don't show his face. The center's executive director, Abel Nunez, translated for us.
$50-$200 He said it's about 2 months he's been doing it. He said it's pretty good. He makes about $150 to $200 every day.
At upwards of 30 deliveries a day, that adds up to more than $1,000 a week. He acknowledged his moped is unregistered and that he doesn't have a permit to work in the U.S., although he said he's trying to correct that. He added he doesn't break traffic laws other than that unregistered moped, but he sees the ones who do.
So he says sometimes it's not their fault. They don't want to drive fast, but unfortunately sometimes they go to a restaurant and the order is not ready and they have to wait. He says when the food is ready, they can do 2 or 3 in an hour. But if the restaurant delays, then they have to wait for the food and then they have to contact the customer to make sure that they're not angry because it's not their fault.
Earlier this month, MPD announced it was cracking down. Dubbed Operation Ride Right, the department will focus on unregistered mopeds and operators who are breaking traffic laws.
Moped is not allowed in the bike lane.
And he's coming up on this poor biker who's correctly
who's following the rules.
And D.C. Councilmember Charles Allen and Councilmember Brianne Nadeau have introduced a bill to strengthen moped licensing and registration requirements in the district. We saw unregistered mopeds without license plates almost everywhere we looked, making it virtually impossible for operators to be held accountable when they break the law. Has this behavior been getting worse?
I mean, if my sample size of what I'm seeing, I'd say over the last 6 months, we've seen all of a sudden something very dramatically different happen.
Back at the Central American Resource Center, Nunez told us the spike in the sheer number of moped delivery drivers in D.C. is driven in part by those migrant buses sent to D.C. in recent years by Republican governors in border states, flooding the district with undocumented workers trying to make a living. This is the way they always learned how to drive mopeds. This is the way they've always driven mopeds in their home country.
That is correct. What we need to be able to do is to translate into what it means to the U.S. or to the DMV area, right? So that they're doing it appropriate. I think that if we just use enforcement, we're going to take a viable way for them to maintain their families, and then they're going to depend more on the city. And then it's either which poison do you want? Do you want to deal and teach them how to do it right, or do you want them not to work and be dependent on the city for their survival?
Back in her Mount Vernon neighborhood, Lisa Abel doesn't know what the solution is. She just knows something needs to be done. And if things continue this way, what do you fear might happen?
People are going to get hurt.
Councilmember Allen, who is also the head of the Transportation Committee, will hold some special hearings next month to figure out how the district can collectively address this problem.
Yeah, meanwhile, if you go to our website, we have the complete interview with that food delivery driver Eric spoke with. He talks about how he came to the United States and what it would mean if he could no longer do this type of work.